This one move is what separates amateurs from professionals when it comes to ball striking. And I can guarantee every golfer out there, if they implement this extremely simple move, you'll be able to quickly get tour level ball striking extremely fast within a couple of balls. And what this is covering the ball with your chest and having that chest point in front of the golf ball, going through impact there. This is so incredibly important. Like I said, this is the key to every single time getting good ball and turf contact, is just by getting that chest covering or chest pointing in front of the golf ball. But why so many amateur golfers don't do it is because they're trying to do the opposite movement. They're trying to get themselves with the chest and more so the head behind the golf ball, because they'll see some players out on tour have that movement, the head going behind the golf ball, thinking that applies to everyone. We're going to explain how some tour players make that work, but where the massive percentage and chunk of tour players have that chest going in front of that golf ball, as you can see with Tiger Woods here, best iron player in my opinion of all time. So let's explain why this works so well. So for any golfers out there on the fence about this, this is going to get cleared up extremely fast. So your lowest point of your swing arc with irons needs to be after the golf ball for you to hit ball and turf. Now the lowest point of your swing arc is right around where your left pec is. So just around here. So you can imagine if you're a golfer who's trying to go back, your lowest point of the swing arc is now either level with the golf ball or slightly behind. Imagine a driver. Lowest point's going to be behind because the left pec is behind the golf ball. With an iron, we need to hit down on it. So if we are behind the golf ball and our left pec is either level or behind with the golf ball, we're going to hit the ball incredibly poorly. So that's where we need to have that left pec be in front of the golf ball here. That's going to make us have that low point consistently after the ball, so we can hit ball and turf every single time. And it really does become that simple. So this is where you can make those massive strides straight away. So this is also where you see tons of players trying to go back behind the golf ball and understanding now why that's extremely detrimental, because they'll be seeing tour players sometimes have that movement behind a golf ball, not knowing one, what club they're hitting. If they're hitting a longer iron, they're going to have generally their head more behind the golf ball because the ball is further forward in the stance. So knowing the club they're hitting is so important to know. Two, knowing the player's golf swing is so important. So that's where guys who have a lot of trail side bend in the downswing, let's say a Justin Thomas, really high hand position at the top of his golf swing, needs a ton of trail side bend to shallow the golf club after that. That will generally get them behind the golf ball. So this is why Tiger is such a good model for a lot of players, because he is very neutral with pretty much everything in his golf swing, and then you can see that position him getting in front. So this is where this is such a much more consistent position for amateur golfers to be in to hit good ball and turf contact. And just listen to those strikes. I mean, let's do another one. Get in that chest in front of the golf ball, pointing in front, covering that ball. Again, really, really nice contact. So let's get straight into the feels to be able to do this, so you can replicate it on the golf course, and the drills to do in practice. And I can guarantee you are going to be hitting the golf ball so much better. As outrageous as the title of this video is, I fully stand by it. You're going to get some extremely good ball and turf contact every time doing this. So absolutely, feel wise, I use this feel on the golf course all the time, because what's more important than ball and turf contact on the golf course? Nothing. So I want you to feel that your buttons on your polo shirt, or let's say it's wintertime, you've got a golf jumper or maybe with a zipper on there. I want the buttons or polo to be getting on top of that left leg. That's our feel. Because if you can do that, that's going to get the chest in front. Now we know the low point is going to be in front of the golf ball. Now it doesn't mean the head is going to drift in front of it. We have side bend to keep our head on center going through impact. But you can see head's on golf ball. You can see the rest of my body has shifted forward. That nice pressure shift, getting that buttons over that left leg is going to create some good contact. So just simple feeling, buttons over that left leg, going through the golf ball. Really simple thought. I do this all the time out on the golf course, which is why you see professionals barely ever hit a poor strike. one of the big differences, like we said, from amateurs to pros, ball and turf contact. So that is a really good one. I like that because it's an external focus. We have a much better ability to be able to replicate a movement and do a movement if we're thinking externally rather than internally. So internally being your body, externally being something, let's say the buttons, my microphone, something on your shirt, a pocket, for example. Much easier way to be able to move yourself. So that's a brilliant one. Buttons over left leg. See it every time, great contact. Now the first drill here is really what I do a ton in my practice, and it's with the swing plate, a brilliant training aid with the extension pole attachment, because ultimately it's just a long alignment stick that I can put a couple fingers outside the right side of my head. There's a link in the description for a discount on this training aid too, if you want to pick up one of these. Incredibly good training aid to have. Now, what I want you to do from here, I want you just to hit the ball and never hit this with your head. That's all I want you to do. You can think of the buttons getting in front or on top of the left leg. Boom, that perfect striking. It is amazing at how well you do hit the golf ball every single time we're doing this. So I just want the addition of not hitting this with the head, because if I start to slightly move back, my ball strike is going to suffer and I'm going to hit this with my head. Really, really good one. Another one here. Again, listen to how good that is. So, brilliant, brilliant training aid, really good drill, fixes so many other issues as well, and just hit as many balls as you can with that there. Even when it comes to, let's say, your longer irons, where you've got the ball a little bit more forward, we can even still have this here just to encourage not more tilt back and more moving back with that head. Brilliant, brilliant training aid. So let's get to the second drill. So the second drill here, favorite of the channel. Now this really helps you shift your pressure really well, but it keeps upper and lower body nicely connected to each other. So what we do, we have the ball at the front of the stance, club out the middle, ball forward drill, where we have that little gap between club and ball, and all we've got to do here with that gap is hit the ball as solidly as we can, to where we have to shift that body, that pressure over, that upper body has to get forward, because if the upper body doesn't, what's going to happen is you're going to hit the ball absolutely terribly. You're going to top it, you're going to fat it, you're going to do absolutely everything other than hit a good golf shot. So the only goal here is to hit a good golf shot. Your body will self-organize itself to be able to do that for you. So it will get into these positions we've been talking about just for you to hit this ball solidly. And it's also a brilliant one for working on staying down in your posture, because if you have that ball forward and club out the middle, you have to stay down in your posture to still hit that golf ball. If you stand up, the club's too elevated. And it's also great for club path. If you're massively swinging over the top, you're going to exit way, way, way left, and you could easily miss or toe shank the golf ball. So really, really good one. Now for this, one of the questions I always get with this drill is, how do I then implement that into a normal shot? Two answers to that. One, imagine the ball is still there in the front of your stance, and then obviously still try and hit that forward ball. Really good results, as you can see. And the second answer to that question is time. You've got to take a ton of time practice on this. No matter what drill it is for what problem in the golf swing, a lot of players will go, well, I do it great doing the drill, but when I take the drill away, I just do my old swing. And always the answer to that is, you need more time doing it. It's about retraining the subconscious brain. You are very habit driven to swing the way you want to swing, because the golf swing is so fast. It's going to be very subconscious of a movement, to where you need to rep it out an absolute ton to be able to integrate it in. It can always be, for vast majority of everyone, an answer that simple. It's just do more and more and more of it. It's why it takes tour players so long to change their golf swing, years to change their golf swing. So if you like this video, click that like button. If you want more golf instruction just like this, hit the subscribe button and hit that bell button too to be notified every time I put out a video.